Okay, today we're going to be talking about the iconic spaghetti western guitar tone. I'm going to be showing you how to dial in that great sound, regardless of the amplifier you have, the effects, the modelers, whatever you've got. I'm going to show you the closest way you can get to this great tone. If you're interested in learning how to play this style of music, I'm going to strongly recommend you check out a lesson that I will link at the end of this video. It's with Adrian of Anyone Can Play Guitar. If you don't know Adrian, check out his YouTube channel. He's one of the best guitar instructors on YouTube. A phenomenal player, can play circles around mere mortals like myself, and seems like a really nice fellow. So thank you, Adrian, for the inspiration. All your lessons are fantastic. Okay, so what is the spaghetti western tone? Well, it started out with Morricone's soundtracks to those spaghetti western movies in the 1960s. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is what that was based on. Fistful of Dollars, Once Upon a Time in the West, and so forth. And what you really want to start out with is just a basic clean guitar tone. I'm going to switch now to a view of my signal chain. And if you happen to own a Spark amplifier of any type, you'll see the exact signal chain that I used for this preset, which you'll be able to download if you want to. Okay, so this is a look at my signal chain, and as I said, you just want to start with a clean amp. I am using the Orange amp in the Spark system. Now, a lot of you might quibble off the bat and say Orange amps aren't known for their clean tones, but I would disagree. They have really nice clean tones, and this is a great example in the Spark system. Whatever amp you have, turn down the gain. Now you're going to think I'm contradicting myself because the gain is up fairly high on this, but again, that's because Spark has this set up as a super clean amplifier. You heard it there at the beginning. It's very clean, even with the gain up at this level. Okay, if you've got a modeler, hey, start with a clean Fender Blackface style amp if you'd prefer that over an Orange. Okay, so step one is clean amp. Step two is tremolo. If you don't have a tremolo pedal or a modeler, it is going to be challenging for you to get this tone. You can pick up cheap tremolo pedals. The Joyo Trem is probably like 30 bucks used. But if you have a modeler, pick a basic tremolo, not a harmonic tremolo, nothing really choppy. You want a smooth sine wave, that's S-I-N-E wave tremolo, set to a smooth wave, not a triangle or a square, but a smooth wave, like a bias tremolo on an old Princeton Reverb, for example. So this is the first tremolo in the Spark system. And you can see that I have the depth up pretty high, so it's pretty rich. I have the speed halfway up. Your tremolo pedal might not have a level control, so you can ignore that. Speed and depth are the most important. So again, you want the speed roughly halfway, and you want the depth pretty deep, okay? And then the third most important ingredient in a spaghetti western tone is reverb, right? This is a hall reverb. Spring reverb is fine. You do want a bigger reverb though, so a room reverb is not going to be your best choice. You want to choose hall, plate, or spring. And you want it pretty high. You can see that I've got the time and the level up at about 2/3. I've got the dwell about halfway up. If you have a pedal that has a damping control, I like to crank the damping because otherwise you get some kind of artificial artifacts, especially on a digital amp like the Spark. But that's the reverb tone I've got going here. If your amp doesn't have reverb and you don't have a reverb pedal or a modeler, you need to get reverb. You have to have reverb. So pick up a cheap pedal like a TC Electronics Hall of Fame Reverb Mini. The mini pedal, it's tiny. It's probably about 70 bucks used, something like that. And it has the ability to load any reverb pattern, model, preset, whatever you want to call it. They call them tone prints in the world. So you can get hall, plate, spring, chamber, room, any kind of reverb, and load it onto that little pedal and you're good to go. Some other things I have in this chain, I've got a little bit of a boost going just because I think it gives more muscle to the tone. That's not a requirement at all. And then I've got a compressor sustainer set fairly low. Again, not a requirement, but I like a little compression on virtually every patch. Okay, so that is my Spark preset. You can see that it's named Spaghetti Western Hood Rio. If you're interested in any of my presets, they're all free. They tend towards the clean. I've got some surf, I've got some rockabilly, I've got different things like that, along with some heavier stuff like ZZ Top. You can go to the Tone Cloud and this just comes up automatically with the most popular ones, but you can just type in the search bar Hood Rio and all those will come up. I have no relation to Positive Grid. I just think it's a cool product and I'm having fun with it. Okay, that's how to set up a spaghetti western tone. Please check out Adrian's lesson on how to play this stuff. It's linked here on your screen. Thanks as always for joining me. I will see you next time.